Hi guys, this is Tati from Plekvetica, and I'm here with Sirenia. Hi guys.
Hello.
Good, how are you?
Fine.
Excited about tonight?
Yeah, of course. It's always nice to be here in Switzerland, so we're looking forward to the concert. As always, yeah.
Cool. So my first question is, when you started this band, what was your vision? Like, why did you start this band?
My vision was, already at the time I've been working with music for quite some years with different bands and projects, and I guess I found out more or less at the age of 14 that music is my thing, and in 2001 I decided to start Sirenia, and my vision, was to make a band, that mixed rock and metal with a lot of different genres like classical, Gothic, and that kind of stuff, and bring in some instruments that maybe wasn't that normal in metal at the time, and so on, and try to make something that was a little bit different from everybody else, and something that I really enjoyed myself. And that's how it started out in 2001, and we've just been continuing developing our style and working over the years, and so here we are some years later, and there's been some albums and some concerts and stuff, and still we're really enjoying it.
What's your vision now with the band? What's your motivation to keep going with the band?
Now it's really exciting because we're in a position now that we are able to do a lot more touring. We had a lot of problems with that in the past, and we were hardly not able to tour at all. In 1 year we did like 2 concerts, and it was just a terrible situation for the band. And these days now everything is much better, and we are touring a lot more than we ever did before. So everybody's happy. We can enjoy making new music, recording albums, but most of all we are now able to do a lot more of touring also, which is of course important, and it's something that we really love to do also.
All right. Your last album, the Dim Days of Dollar, if I'm correct. What was the inspiration for this album? What's it about?
It's about. I mean, it's not a conceptual album in any way. There's a bunch of songs on there, and every song is individually written. So there's not like a story going through the songs. But there's like red lines, or things connecting them in a way with the things I write about. Normally I write about, darker sides, of life, mankind in general, and it could be also, I can find inspiration in things going on around me, and even if it's music at sometimes, or if it's a movie or a book or something that gives an impression, then it can inspire in some way. And so I think there's a lot of the songs on the new album is I've been writing about themes that is quite typical for Sirenia, and also some of the songs I've been writing about new themes that I didn't really write a lot about in the past, and after writing so many lyrics over the years, it's getting harder and harder to find inspiration, to find new topics and new things to write about. So I think at this point in my career, that's probably the biggest challenge is with the lyrics. The music is still is easy to get new inspiration.
And with this album, you toured North America for the first time earlier this year?
Yeah.
How was it? What's the biggest difference compared to touring Europe, what you already have done a few times?
Yeah, we've been touring Europe for quite some years, but never in the US and Canada. And I mean, dealing with the fans and the concerts themselves, it's more or less the same. I think the biggest difference is, of course, it's all the thing you need with the working permits, the visas, and all the flight costs getting over there. So there's for sure a lot more costs involved with touring North America for a European band. So it's a little bit harder to arrange it, but we got a lot of good help from our US management, and they knows everything about this, so they really helped us out and so on. And also our fans, they helped us out with the crowdfunding campaign that we had, and it was really cool being over there. The crowds were really great, and they are really crazy about one of the first things I noticed over there, that they are really crazy about merchandise. They really buy a lot of merchandise over there. They really love T-shirts and that kind of stuff. In Europe, I think maybe they buy a little bit more CDs and less merchandise. And in the States, it's complete opposites. Everybody wants T-shirts and that kind of stuff, but they don't sell that much CDs. And also here, it's normal to get all the catering and stuff inside of the venues, while in America you had to walk around finding places and having your dinner. You just get paid like a buyout, and then you go wherever you want to have your dinner. So that was more or less the biggest changes. But the audience, I feel, is in North America and Europe is very much the same. Yeah.
What was your experience like?
About the North American tour?
Yeah.
It was a nice experience for me. Personally, it was the first time I went in North America, so it was nice to travel there and to meet another culture, other kind of people. The crowd is very different from the rest of the world. We just traveled before in South America, and I don't know how to express it better. In South America, the people is extremely, I don't know how to tell it, investigate. I don't know, in the show. In North America, it's a little bit more shy, I can say, but the people give another kind of warmth. It's very different, and it was interesting because all the discussions we had with the friends, with the fans after the show, was really interesting. I don't know how to express it. My English is not so good, so it was a nice experience, humanly and musically. Yeah, it was a good surprise. Yeah.
And if you wouldn't be in Sirenia, what kind of music would you make? Would you do the same type of music or something completely different? Who wants to go first?
For me, I think we're both really open-minded when it comes to music, and we listen to all kinds of genres, bands and artists and in all kinds of styles, and I really like that. It's if I would only listen to metal and work with metal only, I would get tired, I think, very fast, because I like to analyze music as much as I like to enjoy listening to it and stuff. And most of all, of course, I love working with it and spending so much time. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons also why I decided with Sirenia from the start to make it a metal band, but also having a lot of influences from other styles to try to make it quite diverse. So I can have days, where I just work with really heavy guitar riffs, and the next day I work with the piano, and afterwards I'm making some symphonic arrangements, and then different kinds of vocals, and so it's very diverse. You're not exactly working with the same thing every day. I get a lot of variation with the music, and this is something that's really important to me. But if I had to play in a different band, I don't know, it could be a lot of different stuff, but I think metal is something that is really probably the genre that is closest to my heart, metal and rock, somewhere in between there.
What about you?
It's a bit the same for me. I think there is always something interesting in every kind of music, and I'm extremely open-minded on different kind of style of music. I'm used to work as a session singer for a very, very different style. It can be, I don't know, jazz or rock music or I don't know. Everything has its part of interesting thing, and I like the challenge in music. So I like to do very diverse things.
Cool. So this is my last question for today. In the past, women in metal have been often been sexualized and seen as a gimmick. Is this something you've met with your own career? And do you believe this trend in metal is like kind of still going on, or are female musicians taken more seriously nowadays?
That's a good question. It's hard to say for me because, to be totally honest, I just joined the band 1 year ago, and so I don't have enough, experience maybe to answer correctly to this question. I have the feeling that women are more and more how to say it in English. That's hard for me to express it in English. They have a better place, in metal music. There is more respect for women. There are no more only just good-looking persons, and they have a lot of things to say, to express, and I think people are ready for that now. It's my feelings.
Yeah, also from my experience when I started, which is I think back in 1995 or something, when we were looking for a female singer the first time, and at that time it was hard even to find a female singer who was interested in working with metal music, because back then metal was something underground, and most of the girls we were in contact with, they didn't really want to make their career with metal. They wanted to do with classical or opera or pop or jazz or something like that. And but I definitely think that has changed over the years now, and there's so many metal bands these days which have female singers or female instrumentalists as well, and so it's getting more and more common. The thing that I really loved from the very beginning was the contrasts between a female voice and a male voice, and the powerful metal music and the classical elements and everything to get all this variation and contrasts in the music. So for me, it's, a female voice has been something very important in the music from the very beginning, since I started a band, and today it seems that it's much bigger, and and there's a lot of female singers there now that wants to work with metal also, is my impression.
All right, so that's it from me. Do you have anything you want to tell your Swiss fans?
Yeah, we'd just like to say cheers to our Swiss fans. Of course, it's always fun to be back here, as always. We've been coming here quite frequently since the very beginning, and we always enjoy our stay here in Switzerland. So, yeah, looking forward to a cool show tonight.
Right. Well, thanks a lot for your time, and you know how it works. Just like, subscribe, and share. See you guys. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Cool, thanks a lot.